Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Sahar. I am a rising 2L, which feels so weird to say, at the University of Illinois, Urbana, Champaign, and I would love to have you as a subscriber. I will also link my social media down below if you would like to follow me elsewhere. Today's video is going to be the top 5 things I wish I knew before starting 1L. I just finished my first semester. We are past that. I just finished my first year of law school, which again is so crazy to say out loud that I'm done with my first year. Like, this flew by so fast, but we are not here to talk about how shocked I am that I've made it this far and haven't dropped out yet. That's not what this video is about. I'm going to be sharing the 5 things that I wish I knew before I had stepped foot into law school. These are things that I kind of knew, but also wish I would have paid attention to more. And also things that completely took me by surprise, and I think that you guys should probably know before you start your 1L experience. So before we get into this, let me know down below if you are a law student currently, if you're going to be a 1L, or if you're just here for the ride because you like my videos, because if then, thank you so much. Now let's go ahead and get right into it with number 1, which is putting in work throughout the semester pays in dividends during finals season. This, I feel is kind of a no-brainer. Obviously, if you start studying earlier, you won't have to do as much during finals, but that's not really what I mean by this. What I'm talking about is not really studying throughout the semester. I don't mean start taking practice tests from the first week of class. That's ridiculous. Don't do that. But building in the habits during the semester is what's going to save your life during final season. Habits on studying, on waking up at a certain time, on eating healthy, working out, or doing things that you enjoy, doing things that relieve your stress throughout the semester. Building in those routines and those habits for yourself will help so much during the stress of finals. And then also be studying throughout the semester in terms of keeping up with your outlines and making a study plan and figuring out what your study tactics are. How do you study? Because it really is different from undergrad. The things that you did in undergrad will probably not work in law school in terms of study techniques. So using the time that you have, which I promise you, you have ample time throughout the semester of your first year of law school. I had so much free time in my first year up until final season. It was actually ridiculous. So to the people who say you don't have time to do anything in law school, they're lying to you, because if you manage your time well, you have so much free time. So utilize that free time to develop those habits. For me, I love to read. So this past semester, during final season, I would take the nights off from studying and I would sit on my couch and read for a couple hours before going to bed every single night. And that helped me so much. And I was able to do that because I had developed things that helped me relieve stress, like reading. And it helped so much. And then also I had a whiteboard with my entire calendar schedule. And while I didn't follow it to a T every single day, and that's totally fine, it helped me kind of develop this routine of what I wanted to do and when I wanted to wake up and all that. And doing that throughout the semester helped me so much when it came time to final season. So be very intentional with your time during the semester and build that routine, build those habits, because that is going to save your life when you have no idea what's going on during finals because you're a stressed out 1L who doesn't know what a law school final is. It's going to help so much, trust me. The second thing that I wish I knew before starting law school was all about networking. Now, we hear the term networking all the time. I truly had no idea what it meant, and I went to business school. I networked, which basically means I talked to people, and that's kind of what it is, but you also really have to put yourself out there, and that starts from the moment you step foot into law school. The day you start talking to people at orientation, you are networking, because you are networking with your peers, networking with your future colleagues, future people in the workforce, but also you're networking with your professors and your career advisors. Literally everyone in that law building you are networking with constantly. But beyond that, you need to network with attorneys. I started cold emailing attorneys way late in the semester, my 1L year, and I wish I had started earlier. I truly do. I feel just developing those relationships early on is so much more beneficial. Like, I know so many people who got their 1L jobs just from networking, and I wish I had done that because that's definitely not how I got my job. So it's not to say that you won't get a job if you don't network, like clearly I did, but it's just, it helps get your foot in the door, and it's so beneficial. And not only for like your 1L summer job, but just for the rest of your life. You are having these connections and these actual like bonds with attorneys, and you never know when that's going to come in handy. So from the moment you start law school, I know there's like a lot of other things going on, and it's hard to like make this a priority, and you definitely don't need to. Like, you don't need to be cold emailing like 10 attorneys every single day. Like, that's not what I mean. But at least start reaching out. Like, if you are in the city that you want to ultimately practice in, maybe like meet attorneys to go for like coffee and just chat and learn about their practice. Like, this isn't you have a 10-minute phone call and then you ask them to hire you. Like, actually build a relationship with them. Like, if you're doing like a Zoom call or a phone call, like, just ask them and learn about their practice and what they do on a daily basis. And that will also help you just figure out what you want to do. Like, a lot of people don't know what kind of law they want to practice when they come into law school. So this could also help you explore your options and just figure out what's going to be best for your career. So there's just so many benefits to networking. So just start as soon as possible, is what I'm saying. The third thing is imposter syndrome, because it is 1000% real and it doesn't go away, I think, ever. Honestly, I feel like I'll be in the workforce and I'll still be dealing with imposter syndrome, and I just think that's the nature of the legal industry and just a lot of industries, but especially in law school. Like, I am surrounded by some of the smartest people I've ever met, and I feel dumb on a daily basis. Like, I feel like I do not belong here. I feel like I need to drop out and just like do something else, because every single day I am amazed by how incredible people are around me, and how I am so like just grateful to be surrounded in a classroom with these brains, and how I get to call some of them my really, really close friends now. It's insane. Someone's car is beeping outside. Like, excuse me, I'm trying to film a video. I'm just gonna keep talking because I don't think it's gonna stop. But I just feel like everyone feels imposter syndrome in law school. Like, I really don't think there's anyone who doesn't. And if they don't, they're on some other level I don't understand. But that's one thing you need to keep in mind, is if you are feeling imposter syndrome, if you're struggling with that and feeling like you don't fit in, everyone's feeling that. Like, truly everyone is feeling that. And honestly, you should feel like a baddie, because you could just be like, I duped my way in here, like, you know. But also, like, you belong. Like, I promise you are there for a reason. The school picked you for a reason, and you chose to go there for a reason. Like, you wouldn't be there if you didn't belong. Like, I wholeheartedly believe that. So if you are feeling like imposter syndrome, just try to recognize that and try to remind yourself that instead of having those like negative feelings, just be grateful that you have the opportunity to be surrounded by such wonderful minds and be surrounded by people that you can learn from daily. And just that switch in your mindset would really help. But just know that it is a real thing in law school, and it's not gonna go away anytime soon. So know that before you start your first year. The fourth thing also has to do with like other people, and that is, it's kind of like a two-part thing. So you will get close to people very quickly in law school. I feel like some of my best friends in law school, like, we bonded so fast, and that's just because you are constantly seeing these people, like, literally every single day, especially like in your section. You have every single class with them, and pretty much everyone's kind of doing the same thing their 1L year, like, for the most part. And so you are constantly surrounded by these same exact people, and when you're going out and going to like bar reviews and doing all of these other really cool things, it's again surrounded by those same people. And so you just naturally bond with them a lot faster, and you just become a lot closer. Like, it truly is like a shared trauma experience going through law school with other people, because they're going through the exact same thing as you, and truly no one will understand what you are going through better than your classmates. Like, not your family, even if you have lawyers in your family, like what you are currently, like presently going through, they're not going to understand as well as the people who are going through it with you at that moment. Because if you're talking to like people in your family who are attorneys or just other attorneys in general, like they're past it. They have a completely different perspective on things. And while that is beneficial, it's nice to have people who are thinking the same way as you also. Like, you don't want to be constantly reminded of like, oh, it's just temporary. Like, it'll be okay. Like, everything's good. Like, yes, that's good to hear, but also sometimes you just want to rant to someone and then say, yes, exactly, I feel you, this is how I feel too, like all of that, and boom, you're good, and then you both can move on. And that kind of experience is unparalleled, I think, to any other setting. I think it's very, very unique to law school and like maybe other graduate programs, but I just feel like with like the sections that we have in law school, like you just bond with people very, very quickly. And then the second part of this is, it also, at the same time, may take you a while to find like your people. And I feel like took me almost the entirety of my first semester of law school to like really find who I clicked with. And I think I didn't really get super, super close with people until the second semester. Like the second semester, I found like the few people that I was like, yes, these are my people. These are my go-to humans. Like, I like who I am around them. Like, I like talking with them. Like, these are my closest friends. And so that didn't happen until second semester. So it does take a while, and it may take longer for others and less time for others. And it just depends on your luck and who you are and all of that. Like, it usually takes me a while to make like really close connections. So while I made like a lot of friends my first semester, it took me a while to like really find my close group of people. And that is totally fine. So you will get close to people really fast, but it also might take you a little while to like find those people who you will get close to really fast, if that makes sense. And then the last thing that I wished I knew before starting One Out is something I kind of did know, but also it just gets like lost in all of the hustle culture and just this like toxic environment of honestly the entire legal industry, to be honest. And that is that you have the power to like craft your legal education and your legal experience. Like, there is no one correct path to how you need to be doing things. Like, a lot of people going to law school wanting to do big law, and that's fine. I want to do big law. Like, there's nothing wrong with that, but don't feel like you have to do it just because everyone else is doing it. Like, there are so many things you can do with a law degree, and there are so many things that you can do during law school to craft your experience and to shape how your legal education will play a role, like a larger role in your future career. So I would just suggest like going to as many events as you can where people are coming to talk, where attorneys are coming to talk, and learn about what people are doing. When you're thinking about what classes you want to take for like your 2L year, when that rolls around, obviously a lot further into your 1L year, don't just take classes because your friends are taking the classes. Like, find things that really interest you and take those things. Like, register for those classes. Don't just do a summer job because you're supposed to, you know, work at a firm. Like, I'm not working at a firm, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like, don't just do things because that's the way you're supposed to do things. Like, even with like your career advisors, like, they are incredible. Seriously, I love my career advisor so much. She's incredible. She is so helpful. But they also have like a way that they see a lot of students do things because that's like the path that people take. And so it's just natural for them to want to take you down that path as well. But talk with them and try to figure out like other things you can do, because your career is really in your own hands. And the 3 years that you spend in law school are going to be just all about you. Like, they really are all about you and what you want to do with your life for the rest of your life. So figure out exactly what you want to do, and don't do it because other people are doing it. Like, don't join the club because other people are joining it. Don't sign up for journal because other people are doing it. Like, just do what you want to do and make sure it is truly what you want to do, is kind of what I'm saying. So there you have it. Those are the 5 things that I wish I knew before starting my first year of law school. Again, thank you guys so much for following along this journey with me. I'm excited to make some vlogs over the summer and show you guys what legal intern job looks like. Obviously not in too much detail, but with that, I hope you guys are having a wonderful morning or night wherever you are, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!